Thank you, and thank you, Chair Gensler, for taking time to leave your virtual office in Maryland to attend today's meeting. And I was also glad to see that you held an in-person open meeting last week for, I think, the first time during your chairmanship. I say that because, Chair Gensler, you are rarely in the office and conduct most of your meetings from the comfort of your home. And what I wonder is, how can we be sure of who you are meeting with on a daily basis? If perhaps someone from Better Markets comes over for dinner to discuss Europeanizing our U.S. capital markets, would that be logged and made publicly available on your calendar?
I haven't had any of those dinners, but hypothetically, if I had that dinner, it would be logged.
I hope so, and I'm glad to hear that. Chair Gensler, in your written testimony, you state that, quote, we also have finalized 24 rulemakings, nearly all of which have changed based on public feedback, close quote. Approximately how many hours per week do you personally spend reading public comments submitted to the unprecedented number of proposed rulemakings issued by the SEC?
I work a lot of hours during the week. My kids are grown and out of the house. My girlfriend lives in a different city. So I don't know how it breaks out. I usually get summaries of the comments, but then staff gives me individual. If it's a member of Congress, I read all of the members of Congress comments personally. But then I get examples in each of the rulemakings, a handful on each of the issues.
Well, I'm glad to hear that as well. Chair Gensler, in May, I co-led a bipartisan letter to you along with my colleague Jennifer Wexton and 22 of our colleagues regarding troubling accusations that the China-backed fast fashion retailer SHEIN allegedly engages in human rights violations, including utilizing materials that may have been made using Uyghur forced labor. Do you believe that SHEIN should be required to certify via independent verification that the company does not use Uyghur forced labor as a condition of being registered to issue securities in the United States?
If I might step away from one registrant and go a little broader, Congress passed a law, the Uyghur Forced Labor Act, I think was the name, and that's the law of the land. And so if you're a registrant and you're getting supplies from that region of China, whether you're a U.S. company or a China-based company, we put out guidance, the staff put out guidance earlier this year to all public registrants that they have to speak to if they're in compliance with that act of Congress. Again, materiality matters, and we've been very clear with that with individual registrants in their filings, and our Division of Corporation Finance makes that abundantly clear in each of those registrants' discussions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I ask unanimous consent to have the text of that letter entered into the record.
Without objection.
Chair Gensler, regarding cryptocurrencies and shifting gears, I'm interested in why you have pursued a litigation-heavy strategy, despite the fact that neither you nor any of your senior staff are litigators, neither your chief of staff nor your policy director or even your general counsel. Why have you settled on such a litigation-heavy strategy to address the cryptocurrency market?
Frankly, it's because the field is so rife with hucksters and fraudsters and non-compliant parties, but we've also done rulemaking, one related to broker-dealers that was completed a number of years ago, and then others related to the definition of exchange and the custody rule that's been discussed a bit here, and even something called best execution. But this is a field where the American public's at risk and being harmed every day on these platforms that are commingling and trading, often trading against their customers.
Well, in my view, it seems that these cases are brought with an explicit political agenda, not a substantive legal one.
Nothing could be furthest from the truth. There's nothing, the only thing political is protecting the American public, which I think members on both sides of the aisle probably agree. They don't want to see constituents hurt in a place where a lot of crypto projects are not properly disclosing. There's been all too many bankruptcies, and in the bankruptcies, investors are just lining up at the bankruptcy court.
Well, thank you.
Simon.
In my opinion, I would like to see you do more from the regulatory and guidance side because this industry is so important and we need to foster it, in my view. Thank you, and I yield back.